Namaskar. My name is Sanjay Lakshmikant Paithankar. A Jihadi judge, Amanulla, has descended upon the apex court of India, the Supreme Court. Looks like immediately after graduating from the ISIS school of Jihad, Hadith, Quran, and Fatawa Alamgiri. Because this is precisely the language spoken by the Islamic Brotherhood and everything dangerously Islamic. What did he say to Baba Ramdev and Acharya Balakrishna and their run company Patanjali? That we will rip you apart, फाड़ के रख देंगे, चीर देंगे, if you translate these words in our language, Hindi. Amanulla is from Bihar, Patna, Bihar. He was, it seems, a clerk to the judge over there, and by a quirk of fate, which also can be called minority reservation, he became a judge. The Supreme Court Collegium accepted him as a Supreme Court judge, and he will be around until 2028, it seems, unless the unimaginably, implausibly, heavily impregnated with wokeism CGI of India, CJI of India, Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, takes notice of this flagrant arrogance of a Supreme Court judge who threatens to take such drastic actions that will jeopardize hundreds of thousands of jobs by a legitimate company, employed by a legitimate company, the Patanjali. We will rip you apart. The Chief Justice of India, Chandrachud, has a facade of enormously human face of the Indian judiciary. He is the facade of the Indian judiciary, and he claims to bring human and humane, the stress being on humane treatment to anyone that approaches, anyone that is a litigant, appellant, or whatever. I am very lean on the legal lingo, the legalese. Okay. Now, Chandrachud has either conveniently overlooked the crass statement made by Amanulla, or doesn't want to act on it. Let's not forget, Amanulla is a judge in Supreme Court because of being a member of minority. Minority in India means Muslims. The minuscule, often overlooked, inconspicuous few called Jain, Buddhists, Sikhs, Christians, Parsis, they could not be considered minority because the definition in India of minority is Muslims. So because being a member of the minority community, this man was promoted by, let's not say promoted, selected by the Collegium of the Supreme Court. Trailing clouds of legal flatulence and the following stench has this man befallen the Indian judicial system. A Hindu lawyer lady in Patna, where he is from, Amanulla, had filed a complaint against this same judge, this man, presiding over his own court. The lady had filed a complaint against him that he be held in contempt of his own court because of the crass, coarse, filthy language this man is used to pronouncing, uttering in his courtrooms. How long will India tolerate such simpletons who have occupied the Supreme Court? Let me give you one more example. Nupur Sharma was unmercifully thrashed, unjustifiably, of course, by a judge called Pardiwala. He accused her of being the sole reason for the Hindu throat slitting orgy that Muslims had started. She was held responsible, and there were a million statements against her existence. It was Pardiwala who said all these things. Now, the Hindu throat slitting campaign, as I just mentioned, orgy, that would be the right word, had started well before Nupur Sharma appeared on TV and said what she did, because she was provoked by one more Muslim guy who admitted on Indian TV that his ancestors were Jains before they accepted Islam. He went scot free. He still appears on Indian TV debates. But Nupur Sharma has been marked now. She is back in BJP fold, but the Islamic sword dangles on her head. Salman Rushdie, after 30 years of publishing his book, The Satanic Verses, faced a terrorist in Canada, lost his eye. In today's BBC, I read he is upset when he sees himself in the mirror with just one eye working, because the other eye experienced a stab wound. I would like the CJI Chandrachud, who flaunts or who has a pretense in front of the cameras that he is the humane face of Supreme Court of India, lands an agonizing kick on Amanulla's back and sends him to some madrasa, or to use his own words, fadrasa, because he said faad ke rakh denge, and do all his jihadi things. He seems to have some axe to grind against Patanjali. Or he must have been, or his fist must have been greased, to use a cliche, by the Indian Medical Association, all the medical companies that sell allopathic drugs to Indians. I would like this man sent packing to the madrasa he came from, because this is highly unbecoming of a judge who, in many of Chandrachud's comments, should be superior to anybody in his court as far as understanding, accommodation, and politeness goes. These three I'm fusing and saying goes. I know many people listening to me will say, okay, 3 words, and he says goes. Because in India, grammatical mistakes in the English language are considered a sin. But I'm fusing these three, the essence of these three, into one emotion. I hope Chandrachud acts and sends this man packing. I'm sure he has rights to fire this man. If not, the little respect we have for judiciary will evaporate too. I hope you like what I said. Whether you like it or not, please do comment. as to what steps Chandrachud has in front of him to nip in the bud. Again, a cliche. People like Pardiwala or this Amanulla, who is there just because he is a Muslim. If you see through Muslim lenses, everything is kafir, everything is kufr, everything is haram in India. So please weed out these bad seed, please, and make Indian judiciary a credible force. धन्यवाद. जय श्री राम. अब की बार 400 पार. मोदी सरकार फिर से एक बार.